Greetings, my excellent friends, and welcome to the Brewery Arts Centre's BigScreen BigScreen live stream. I'm Chris Ashton, the film program manager here at the Brewery Arts Centre, and I'm here once again to talk to you about this week's movies and future releases. So, thanks again for joining me. And if you have any questions, please comment on the live feed. And if I don't get around to answering them today, I will try again during the week, and I'll message you. I'll message you back. If you want to email me direct, you can at cinema@breweryarts.co.uk. Okay, so it's been a strange week for cinemas around the world. In the UK, obviously, you've read in the news. My heart does go out to our colleagues at Cineworld and Odeon, and it's an unfortunate situation that we're in. One positive, though, to take from that is that as an independent cinema, the Brewery Arts Centre, we can show what we want when we want. We're not tied to any kind of negotiations or contracts, etc., with the big studios. So we can bring you a diverse and wide-ranging selection of films from around the world, and family and back catalogue titles and family favourites. So every kind of cloud has a silver lining. It's not ideal, but what we'll try and do is over the next few months try and give you the best possible cinema experience. So if you wanted to check out our listings on our website, you can also see them in local press. You can see that in the coming weeks we'll be showing lots of stage on screens. We've got presentations of Uncle Vanya, Stevie Nicks, and Nick Cave. And we'll also be putting together a short season of music films, obviously with no live music available to our customers. The next best thing is kind of watching a film documentary. So we'll be showing this weekend White Riot and other films, as I mentioned, Stevie Nicks and Nick Cave over the coming weeks. So please check out our listings. We'll also, as Kendal Mountain Festival approaches, we'll be doing something sort of mountaineering, adventure-like. We'll be showing Free Solo at the beginning of November, and we're just looking at screening the film Climbing Blind and also Life of a Mountain, Helvellyn. So please check out our listings over the coming weeks to see those. As I mentioned last week, we have COVID safe, and we put the safety of our customers paramount, and we are making strives to ensure that you get the best possible experience and that you feel safe. So we've introduced extra cleaning shifts. We've removed some seats from the auditorium to give you extra aisles for exits and entryways. And we're also doing like a bubble booking system where you just book so many seats in the row. So please come along. I say we're very safe. There's hand sanitizer stations all over the building, and as I say, we're taking extra time to make sure that you're very safe. So, okay, I'm here to talk about the films. So we've got a great lineup for you this week. Our first film to talk about is Shirley. This is screening at the London Film Festival, BFI London Film Festival this weekend. So Shirley stars Elizabeth Moss as Shirley Jackson, who was a writer in America in the 50s. One of her most well-known novels is The Haunting of Hill House. You may have heard of this as a TV show on Netflix currently. It's a really great period drama. Elizabeth Moss, as always, she's absolutely on top form, quite a very sort of multi-layered character. Great performance and great performances from all the supporting cast as well. So check that out. It's screening Shirley. That's this evening. It's one night only. And following that film, there'll be a sort of 15-20 minute recorded Zoom Q&A between the director and the star of the film. So do come along and check that out. Also this weekend, so tomorrow night, we're screening a film, White Riot. So this tells the story of a vital national protest movement in the 70s, and it was Rock Against Racism. And it was a group of artists, musicians, they took together to take on the National Front. Again, we're just showing this on Saturday and Thursday night. We're very excited to be presenting this film to you in a brand new partnership that we formed with Anti-Racist Cumbria. They're a newly formed organisation, and their mission statement is tackling and ending racism through action and education. to create forward-thinking and actively racist Cumbria, free from prejudice and systematic inequalities. If you want to find out more about that organisation, you can. So it's antiracistcumbria.org. It's as I say, a newly formed organisation, and I'm sure that they'll do lots of good. And I'm very excited about working in partnership with them to present films at the brewery. Our next film is Eternal Beauty. I did touch on this last week. So this is Sally Hawkins, fantastic actress. And this is from a director called Craig Roberts, who you may know from the film Submarine, Richard Ayoade's Submarine, that was out a few years ago. So it's one of Craig Roberts' first films. Touches on mental health between the main two characters who deal with things in very different ways. That's screening just a handful of times this week. So please do come along and see that. That's getting lots of buzz around the festival circuits around the world. Another film is David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet. That continues as well, and as backed by popular demand, and I think it will have another sellout show, so hopefully be able to book it again next week. Is National Theatre's live Fleabag. We did have a sellout show last night. Sellout shows at the moment, they are obviously socially distanced. 35 to 40 is a sellout show. It's not 100, 180 people crammed into screen one. So we're obviously, when I say a sellout show, we do have lots of room, so don't feel like you're crammed in like sardines. We're also screening Tenet, and for the weekend we're continuing to show Onward, and one of my favourite films, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, is just back on Sunday for one off screening. And last but not least, Bill and Ted Face the Music is at the brewery. Excellent. So yeah, a real nostalgia trip for me watching this film. I had an absolute hoot. Really took me back to watching the original films when I was a kid, and the music, Keanu Reeves, just the characters amazing. It's such a funny film. If you want cheering up, I would definitely come along and see this. It as I say, it takes me back 25, 30 years to when I was a kid and watching it at the cinema, and really, just seeing these guys old, watching them, seeing them now grown up and they've got families of their own. So yeah, it was a very touching film. So yeah, definitely come and see Bill and Ted Face the Music. Next couple of weeks, I touched on them earlier, some mountaineering films, music films. We're going to try and give you a diverse and broad range of screenings to come and see, keep you going, keep you entertained. Please do come along and see us and support the Brewery Arts Centre, where we are local independent cinema. Over the next few weeks, as I mentioned last week, we're showing Ammonite. That's the new Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet movie by the director of God's Own Country, Lee Francis. We are showing the new documentary about Greta Thunberg, I Am Greta. We will be working in partnership with South Lakeland Action on Climate Change. So please do come along and see that fascinating documentary about Greta. From next week, we'll be showing the trial of the Chicago 7. Just a few shows of that, but a fascinating story of political movement in the 60s in America. We'll also have, as I mentioned, Stevie Nicks, Idiot Prayer. For the half term as well, we are bringing back Akira, the 1988 manga, one of my favourite films of all time. It's had a re-release in 4K, so we'll be screening that over the next few weekends. It's in original version in Japanese language with English subtitles, so do come along and see that as it was created. It's an absolutely mind-bending film, and no matter how many times I watch it, I still don't understand it, but I love it. And then for the half term, we have a couple of films coming back. We're going to bring back Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Panther, and we're going to bring back The Princess Bride, absolute classic. So yeah, please do book tickets for all those films. And another one that's just doing really well in the UK at the moment is a film called After We Collided. It's like a young adult romantic drama, so do come along and book tickets for that as well. And then last but not least, for Halloween, we'll be showing St. Maud. It's a fantastic psychological horror film, kind of, as I mentioned last week, Exorcist-esque. So do come along and see that, and cushions to hide behind are mandatory. So you can check out all our listings at breweryarts.co.uk and book tickets there. You can also book a table in our fantastic Grange restaurant. the old restaurant there, and That's Bites had a refurb, as I mentioned last week. Do come along, book a table, sample of fantastic food, and have a fantastic drink there. So if I don't know if we've got any questions, I don't think. Oh, there's some great comments. Thanks, guys. Oh, very touched. Oh, amazing. Okay, well, I'll have a look through some more comments and questions later, but and I'll try and respond to those. But do stay in touch. Do sign up to our Instagram page, and I will see you next week. Thanks very much, and be excellent to each other.